Today here we are with Mr. Pawan Agarwal, a driving force for real estate development and philanthropy in our beautiful city of joy.
I get a lot of positive energy in this city in terms of socialization, in terms of warmth, in terms of culture, in terms of people. I believe that if you really do a proper marketing branding from an NGO perspective, what you are doing, the huge change will be a lot of younger generation people will be getting motivated through those initiatives, and they will also want to bring change in India as our nation. I always treat myself as a Bengali because I am born and brought up in Calcutta.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Make Calcutta Relevant Again, the podcast. Today here we are with Mr. Pawan Agarwal, a driving force for real estate development and philanthropy in our beautiful city of joy. We welcome you to the podcast, Mr. Agarwal. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's not usual that we host people at the podcast that we've never met before. And this is one of those very few rare occasions where I get to learn about somebody's story on the podcast. So I'm quite excited. And the other exciting thing for me, perhaps, is the fact that there are still interesting people in the city that I'm meeting every single day. So Calcutta is like a box of chocolates. And every time you pick something up, you're surprised by it. So I'm guessing this is also your first podcast, right?
Yeah, this is my first podcast. And I also, when I got to know about this, your concept that Make Calcutta Relevant Again, I felt very excited that somewhere what I was thinking or driving this from so many years, there is some other person who is doing it in a very, you can say, in a very positive aspect with so many things he is doing. So I really felt that this is a concept, or this is a story which I think the entire world should know. And I really thank you from my bottom of my heart that you are doing this for Calcutta. And we need a lot of people like you.
We need lots of us. We need an army.
Yeah, we need a lot of people who can really create a different narrative for Calcutta, in the whole nation, which I feel will be very good.
No, absolutely. Pawanji, let's start off with something that I think has been a big part of your life. From whatever little I've interacted with you, I've figured out you're a very hopeful person. You're optimistic. Whether it is about Calcutta, whether it is about the industry that you're in, which is real estate, whether it is about the work you do with the various NGOs that you closely support through Kolkata Gives. From the very little interactions that I've had, I've felt that you're somebody who looks forward to things. Even this podcast, the way you talk about it, there is a sort of sense of childlike wonder in your eyes. I can see them sparkling like it would happen to a young person seeing a Hot Wheels for the first time. How did you as a person imbibe this sense of hope within yourself? How did it develop?
See, it comes from within yourself. I believe that I am always a very positive and a person with a lot of patience. It's not only about hope and positivity. I think with hope and positivity, you need to keep patience. That is very much required. And because of that reason, whatever the initiative I have taken in my life, whether it's in my business or in terms of philanthropy or getting into new cities or new ideas or new verticals in my business, wherever you have to be very positive and keep a lot of patience. So I think this is basically, you can say it's a inbuilt quality in me in terms of, or you can say it's a quality, or you can say a negative side also, where I always see positivity in each and every aspect of business or life, or even in an individual. If even there is a negativity, I generally tend to avoid those negativity and see the positivity. So I feel it's
otherwise you're patient about it. You're like, dekha jayega. Aaj theek nahi hai to kal dekhenge kya hoga.
And even in business also, whenever we do anything new in terms of new vertical, new ideas, I always not that type of person where I start something and it's like a switch on, switch off. I will do something and stop those things. I really want to drive this for a very long time. And after that only I lose my hope it will not work.
I think we
So you
should
can say
rename.
I'm an optimistic person.
Very optimistic. I think we should find a way of renaming you as Pawan Follow Through Agarwal. You know, like you're going through till the end of it, till you see इसका कुछ समाधान ढूंढ के निकालना ही पड़ेगा. From that perspective, do you think the way that you were brought up by your parents or your grandparents was a very different time in Calcutta? You've grown up in Calcutta, right?
Yeah, I'm born and brought up in
Born and brought up in Calcutta. Do you think in those times the way that you were brought up in your family that had a role to play in the way that you're very patient and optimistic as a human being?
Yeah, you can say that. I think that my father, I think, has really played a key role in terms of whatever you are seeing as a person I am. Because my father, he started this real estate consulting business when he was at the age of 55. Before that, he was an entrepreneur. He got a huge success. After the huge success in business,
What
during
business was he in?
70s, we were in doing the supply of ash in different paper mills that time, during from 65 to 73, 74.
And what was the name of this organization?
It was like called the Sankar Surkhi Mill.
Okay.
And that time it really did well in those times. But after that, came the emergency, and then came the Naxal movements in Calcutta. So that time the business got really absolutely was in dumps. So he went into like depression from 95 till 1984, 85. Those 10 years was a real struggle for the family, where my mother, and we are 4 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay.
The entire family.
Big joint family.
And my father was absolutely into depression for those 10 years. He was just sleeping in the in the apartment in the home, and just eating and sleeping. He was in such a acute depression after that loss. So in 1985, again he came back out of the depression, and that time there was no capital with us in terms of what we should do. And real estate was also a very unorganized sector, and no home loans, nothing was there. Economy was not opened, because the entire Indian economy opened in year 1991, if you remember.
Of course, yeah. I was born that year.
Yeah.
1991.
Okay,
Yeah. So I remember now that I've seen it on news, but I don't remember it from the year itself. I was just born.
So
but
that
yeah.
time, with the hope and positivity what I inculcated from my father, at that time he thought of ki if I don't have any capital, what to do. So he thought ki the best thing is to do the real estate broking business. The real estate broking I should start. And at that time, if you remember, because yes, you are not born in that era, but people who are born in 1970, 80 era, if they know that real estate was shown as a taboo. And even in movies of those 17 and 80s, real estate developers were always shown like
a negative
character, like a villain or somebody who is snatching something from people. So the entire image of real estate was very, very, you can say, on a negative side. But still my father chose that real estate, where we don't need to any capital in a service business, in a broking business. And
so between lands, because he knew people, and then there was...
then he started this real estate consulting business at that age of 55.
By the name of NK Realtors.
It was NK Agarwal and Company. We are basically Agarwals from Rajasthan. My father migrated from Rajasthan.
Right.
I am 71 born, so born and brought up in Calcutta.
Yeah.
So he started this with nothing in hand, nothing which was there. And the way he built relationships with lot of big, because that time to Calcutta was had a lot of even house in Victoria and all these places, lot of people, the big houses, these owners of businesses were used to go there. So he started doing business development initiative during the morning walks.
Acha, Victoria mein, this I think a lot of the younger generations will probably not understand that what the value of a morning walk is. If you ask the Gen Zs, they go to sleep at 4 5 in the morning, and they are not waking up in time for any kind of morning walk. So listen to Pawanji, if you want to establish good relationships, you must go for morning walks.
Yeah, that is, and I can give, when my father gave absolutely a business development idea, which I think that today's generation should understand. At that time, how my father did this relationship with those high net worth individuals, the HNIs of Calcutta,
Acha?
through the morning walks. Because that time, today too, we are in a digital world where we see all the newses and everything instantly on our phone.
Of course.
But that time it was all about newspapers. And newspapers was the main source, because no TV channels. There were few, like Doordarshan channel was there. But apart from that, the TV was also not relevant. And it was all about the newspaper. Newspaper was the main medium for getting to know what is happening in your city and all over the nation.
Of course.
So my father, like in 4:30 in the morning, he used to wake up, get ready, and go to Esplanade, where the entire newspaper distribution system took place that time. I don't know about today's scenario, but that time the Esplanade was the main place. And he used to pick all the Hindi, English newspapers of sets and took them to the Victoria Memorial. And those people who were sitting in addas, these HNIs in different addas after the morning walk, so he introduced and give those newspapers to them to read.
Achha?
And in that morning time, if you get a newspaper during those time, it was like something which is like you really aspire for in the morning.
It's an appreciated gesture. It was a nice gesture from some not so young man, some 50, but he would give a newspaper to them and start a conversation.
So he started a conversation by giving them newspapers, entering into those like societies. And that way he started then introducing himself as a real estate consultant who can give you solutions if you want to buy something, if you want to sell something. So that is the way my father would give me the idea that if you are a positivity is there and hope is there, and if you have a patience, I think everything is possible. I think I got this inculcated from my father.
Very nice. And tell us about your mother also. In India, we have a way where we, especially men, we always seek for the validation of our fathers. This is like the most important thing in our lives. We always look forward to that. Kisi din to papa bolega ki they're proud of me, and whatever I've done. But the mothers who at home, they are able to take care of us and create the people that we are. Sometimes when we are talking about our parents, I think they get overshadowed a bit.
So I think it's from this point of view, I always treat woman who is managing the entire show of the house, including the family and the children's. I always tell them they are the home CEO. For me, they are not homemakers. They are not housewives. I always treat them like the home CEO. And from my mother perspective, you see, she was not educated.
She came from Rajasthan?
Rajasthan only. And at that time, in those struggling phase of 10 years, with a very limited amount of money in hand, the way she managed the entire house, where 4 brothers, 2 sisters, managing them, their education, their other household expenses, other things, festivals. And apart from then, after getting my both elder sisters' marriage. So in that way, I feel that whatever we are today, the entire credit goes to my mother in terms of managing those very difficult times and giving us like values in terms of for the money and the as a grounded nature, humility. I think my mother played a huge role in terms of that.
What kind of a role do you think your mother, is she still alive?
No, she's not.
Unfortunately.
My father and mother is not alive now.
Did they at any point get to spend time with their grandkids?
Yes.
The beginning.
My mother got, her death was little early, but my father spent time with my brother's children and my daughter.
Okay.
Not with Manav also, my son. But my daughter Tanvi, he spent time with them.
Now let's come to the next generation. And we'll come to you at the very end. But it's important to get context about your life, right? Because we, at the end of the day, they say that it takes a village to raise a child. Right? And you're the sum total of all the experiences of your ancestors and your environment and all the people who had a very big role to play in your upbringing perhaps. And we are constantly growing, right? I'm sure you as a father also must have learned so much from the way that you've learned from your own father and mother. You've learned from your own kids as well. They are their own people now. Both of them are adults. Tell us a little bit more about your kids and your relationship with them.
So I have one daughter and one son. Daughter right now, she's born 1988, 98, so she's 27-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And Manav, my son, is born 2001, 24-year-old. So both did their studies, higher studies in US.
Mm.
So first I talk about my daughter. So she completed her education from US in computer science.
She's a computer scientist.
Yeah, and now she's right now working with McKinsey as a tech consultant for them. As a tech
She lives in the US?
So she was in US for 3 years. Right now she's in Portugal.
Okay.
And now she will come back to India.
Okay.
Because in terms of, again, coming back to India, I discussed with her that there are a lot of opportunities in India.
It is also India's decade of hyper growth.
So I
much
said,
growth happening
instead
here.
of spending time away from your own country, there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of the things have really changed. And she got agreed, and now she's coming back.
Is she
next
excited?
2-3 days.
She's excited.
She's excited, but apart from that, she's a little nervous also.
She's a bit nervous.
That after spending 4 years in those territories of in American and European markets, how she will cope up with the Indian way of working.
Yeah,
she's understanding.
That's going to be a whole different ball game.
And
I mean,
yes,
I can remember the first time that I came
I believe
back
you
to
also
India.
spent a lot of time outside.
Oh yes, many years, close to 10 years abroad. But I did keep a pied-à-terre, which I like a back and forth with India quite often. But still, coming back and realizing your worth again, I think is not easy always. Also, like the way of working, the way of even very simple things, like it used to be very irksome for me when people would call me sir. I'm not a hierarchical person in general. I'm very informal as a person. I tried for 6 months, everything I could. Like, please don't. This is really
come out of sir and madam culture.
Yeah, but it just didn't happen. And I tried. At some point, I just gave up. So I think with the younger generations, I have a lot of younger people in my team. With them, I think it's good. It's transitioned into Dada, which is great, which is fine. But some of the older generations still, it's like a matter of respect, I guess. Which I realized that I cannot change all of their life social conditioning, no matter how much I tried. So then you decide to also choose your battles. I think if there's one lesson for your daughter, when she comes back, please let's all of us have a dinner together. I'll give her some tips that might be helpful. But she has to choose her battles, I think. Like she cannot fight with every single facet of life and society, because it's just going to go so much work is going to go into it. She won't be able to actually do any work. She's going to constantly bog down.
She need your, I think, guidance because of your experience. What you
a little bit. And my wife is also a foreigner, so even when she moved to Kolkata, this was also like another level of complication. So I'm very used to helping younger people.
From which country
she's from France.
Okay.
Yeah, we were classmates at HEC when we.
So for her, though, must be a huge.
It was a very interesting jump, I think, in life. But she also built her life here. She started a sustainability collective. That actually, we were talking earlier about SVP and all of these social organizations. She's my contact with them. She's the one who, when she came here, she said, you know what, I need to have she's a very driven person, and all her studies, we were in the same business school. All her studies were in managing and running sustainable social organizations. So that's what her work was in. In fact, she later went on to be the director of our school where we studied as well in sustainability. So when she came here, she was very strict about that. She was like, okay, there is one, I want to work only in this field, education for sustainability and helping people run and manage their social businesses better. And at some point, I think with our sustainability collective, we had more than 300 NGOs and social businesses working with us. And SVP and Kolkata Gives and all of these organizations in some way also became part of these organizations that I got to discover because of her. So that was very interesting for me to see how she dealt with the city in her own way, without going through my connections or networks. There was a completely different identity that she carved for herself, and I think she gets a lot of love.
Hope she's enjoying now.
Yeah, it's been 7 years now. Huh? So we've had a lot of time, a lot of conversations through it. But that's also part of life, right? I think at the end of the day, you have to trade off on. Like, we are entrepreneurs. At the end of the day, we have to trade off on the best possible outcome at a given situation, right? I think owing to the way that we've had a family business here, it's the 40th year of our education group. Huge responsibility. Also, the possibility of social impact being in India is incredible. So when we had met, also, I'd always made it clear that for me, being in India is very important, and she understood that. She respected that always. That this is something that is very important, and we'll work around it. She took it as a challenge, and 7 years later, I think we've learned a lot. We've evolved. We're not the same young people that we are young, but we're not as young. We have a bit of experience on our sides, and I think also the older we get, we appreciate the beauty of experience and what it teaches us. I think when you're younger, you feel that you can rule the world. Every day you wake up in the morning and you're like, आज तो फोड़ देंगे, मतलब हम और किसी को तो कुछ पता ही नहीं है, हम ही ये देश का राजा है, हम ही शहर का राजा है. And then over time you realize that you can't change everything. Yeah, like, I think with a bit of hindsight and a bit of experience, realized how much more experience means. So I'll tie that in with my next question for you, which is, you have obviously built a successful transition to your father's real estate business, then built Srijan Realty, which I think now is one of maybe the top 2-3 real estate developers in the city. But your focus has also been on helping NGOs scale. And I've heard from my childhood friend Karan Goenka, you've done a great job with Kolkata Gives, supporting so many interesting organizations, including Ramakrishna Mission, which I think is a household name to us. But how do you see NGOs and social businesses benefiting from modern day governance or branding, packaging? Do you think they need to be looked at in a different way for them to be able to grow?
So, like business houses, I always advise whichever the NGOs which are closely associated with me, and I always say ki you what we do as a state also, like we were discussing, that the state also need to market themselves, because so much positive things are there. Positivity branding is required. The same way for NGOs. They do a lot of work which is beyond imagination.
Yeah.
But those work, the impact, how difficult the journey was and how impactful it is, they are not displaying those to the larger audience.
Why do you
and for
think
that they need branding and marketing in a bigger. I think they are so much involved in their day-to-day, like firefighting and day-to-day work. They don't focus and don't give time to these aspects, which I believe that if you really do a proper marketing, branding, and from an NGO perspective, what you are doing, one, I think the huge change will be a lot of younger generation people will be getting motivated through those initiatives, and they will also want to bring change in India as our nation. And I feel that even the fundraising becomes very easy, because if any NGO if they really want to make it big and do a growth in their spectrum, they need a lot of fundraising also. So
there's
fundraising
a big
also
fundraiser
becomes
coming
very
up,
easy.
right, for Kolkata Gives?
Yeah.
11th November?
Yeah, 8th of November we are doing a
8th of November,
fundraising event where we are showcasing 4 NGOs in different fields.
Which are the ones that are getting showcased this year?
So this year what we are doing with a NGO. First is Samaritan Help Mission.
Right.
The founder is Mr. Mamun Akhtar from Tikiapara, Havda.
Right.
He is running a school with around more than 5,500 children are there.
Right.
So that NGO will be there apart. And then the second is Rural Healthcare Foundation, which is founded by Mr. Anant Nevatia.
You are also part of the trustee.
I am one of the
board for
trustee in that. It's basically a primary healthcare solution provider, mainly in rural Bengal.
What kind of impact are you seeing with that?
Huge impact. What they are doing, they are right now with their different centers On a monthly basis, they are serving around 70,000 patients on a monthly basis. So I think it's a huge impact where they take a certain fixed fee with the patient, and they give 7 days medicine within the same package. They charge around 100 to 150 rupees depending on different centers. So primary healthcare, there is a huge need, which they are really doing a great job. And then the third organization is a Mukti organization. Basically, they work in Sundarban. And in Sundarban, they are into doing a lot of things in terms of women empowerment, in terms of support schools, in terms of environment, in terms of organic farming, in terms of farmers' growth. They are doing a lot of work in Sundarban area in Raidigi district. So Mr. Shankar Haldar is the founder of that organization.
Right.
And you will not believe that Mr. Shankar Haldar is a full-fledged employee of TCS at a very senior level.
Okay.
And basically, he came out of Sundarban and saw that difficulty and poverty. So he thought he should give back to the entire village, that entire area. So on Monday to Friday, he does for TCS, and on Saturdays and Sundays, he spends the entire time to these Sundarban initiatives. So he is also one of our participants. Mukti.
Okay.
And the fourth is Sunbird Foundation, basically from Manipur and Northeast, founded by the retired Army General Mr. Christopher Rego, where he saw in his tenure of last 20 years when he was in Northeastern region from Indian Army, he saw that because that huge militancy was there, and he thought that only peace can come through if we will bring friendship and education. We can bring peace to this entire area. So he started his movement after the retirement, that in different villages he built hostels and schools for those village children and gave them really quality education. And all the villagers, like peace, education through education, peace and friendship. That the whole motto is that. And that person is doing amazing job. I visited his centers in also
Manipur?
in Manipur.
Yeah.
And in remote areas, I stayed there for 2 days with my wife and with one of my friend. It was one of the most amazing experience which you cannot get in different holidays all over the world. That type of experience I got, and with full safety and no problem because all those militants also, but because the work they are doing in those areas, the militant organizations also are very, very sympathetic toward these organizations,
because they can see the overall growth
doing this type of work.
Right.
So these are the 4 organizations right now we are supporting in this fundraising event. There are more organizations, but
these are the selected ones for this year.
Because we cannot have a lot of organizations at one
Also,
place.
I've seen at fundraisers it works well if the stories of some selected organizations are presented in a way that people find it relatable. Then a lot more people can come forward and support them as well. I mean, now I'm even more excited to be there at the fundraiser.
And what we are doing, what other we are not doing, again I said the marketing and presentation. So Manav, because Manav is right now joined me in our organization, my son. He joined me from last 2 years after his studies from US. He studied in USC, LA. So he came back, and he is very keen in taking our real estate consulting business of NK Realtors, not even in Calcutta, in other cities also. So he is a person, and as you said, that these people from Gen Z, they give you a completely different perspective of how you see the things in terms of branding or marketing or sales or technology upgradation. So they, like Manav is looking into all these NGOs right now, what will be the quality of presentations, how they will present the materials. So we are doing a lot of workshops with them before the fundraising.
Right.
So because I said that the overall quality of presentation, the stories, what you need to tell to the audience, that is very important. So in that aspect, we have a separate team where they are hand-holding with the NGOs to make it impactful.
Okay, I want to know 2 stories one story I want to know from one of the NGOs that you worked with or met through Kolkata Gives. A very particular example that completely blew you away, that you were not expecting. And one with your son, an experience of something that you were not expecting, might have been a cultural shock, might be something, but then in the end, you were like, wow, man gaye ustad, that was good. So I say, I want to hear two stories from your experience.
So if you, from an NGO perspective, the one story if I tell you, when first I heard about Mamun Akhtar of Samaritan Help Mission, from you can say one of the person who I really admire in terms of doing social work, Mr. Ramesh Kacholia. He is from Bombay, and right now he's 87 of his age. And after retirement from at the age of 60, from last 27 years, he's doing amazing work, and he's having a small group of people like what we are doing in Kolkata Gives. They have also a foundation or a group of people where caring friends, something like that their organization name is. So they are also, so the uncle introduced me to Mamun Akhtar, that you must visit his place and see what he is doing.
The school, right?
The school. So Tikyapara is an area which is very, very highly like dominated by very, you can say, very low, like below the poverty line, you can say. People are really in a area where he was there. So when I visited the school and I saw the work in that difficult terrain where what he is doing, and the transformation which he brought, even in terms of having their bank accounts opened, their ladies' families, because their money can be saved in those bank accounts, where their husbands cannot take that money for alcohol and all those things. Bringing a society transformation through the school, through the ladies, through the skill development, through education, through giving them education at like a 50 rupees, 100 rupees per month fee, quality of education which you can compare with schools like La Martiniere. Wow. The infrastructure in a classroom, with that time around, I am saying must be 10 years back, I visited him, 11 years back, with projector and everything in those classes, and with dresses, uniform, school textbooks and everything, taking 100 rupees from a kid and giving that type of quality education and transforming the entire society at large. It was an experience which I cannot forget for my lifetime.
So it was a humbling experience.
It was really a humbling experience, and I felt that that person is basically, he could not complete his studies because he needed to he got opt out after class 8.
It's Mamunji.
Mamunji, because his father was a rickshawala and he could not afford the fees of Mamun that time.
Achha.
So that time Mamun made a commitment कि I will try to educate maximum people, because what happened with me, I don't want to get this happen with different other children's.
Yeah.
And that way he started this movement with 20-30 kids, and now he is running a show which is unimaginable.
5,500 students, you said?
5,500 students in different campuses. 2 campuses are there. And the society transformation. It's not only about the education. But now he's doing primary health care. He's having ambulances in that area. Skill development courses are there for girls, for boys, for elders. But he's doing something which is really, really made that the crime rate has gone down. The abuse things has gone down. The entire police, the commissioner of police of Havda also is very, very a big supporter of these organizations, whichever the commissioner police come there, they always visit those with Mamun. And they are, because see, for them, if the crime rate is going down by an initiative of NGO, is something which is really, really a great story. So I think that is one of the most moving story for me in terms of NGO.
Yeah, I mean, I know they are going to be there at the fundraiser, so I'm just thinking out loud. Perhaps through our higher educational institutions, we can support the children coming out of
Yes, it will be
Samaritans,
a
and provide them education in, be it computer science, or if they want to go into business, or they want to go into architecture or nursing or design. In their next level of education, it's something that we can definitely support. We work with many NGOs across the city, but
I think it will be a big help if
Yeah.
you can do something with them, collaborate with them, and it's worth having an association with them as an NGO.
Yeah,
You will not be disappointed.
I think
And once you
the
meet
way
him-
that you speak about them, I don't think there is any chance to get disappointed whatsoever. But I look forward to meeting Mamun as well. I'm guessing he will be the one presenting.
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
We should get him also. We need. See, I think seeing is believing, right? Like when you talk about the story, I'm already half sold. I know that this is a person that I would love to, interact with and support. But if we want another 10,000 well-meaning citizens to also, take a look at what he's doing and support that, that's the reason why we build the campaign. That's the reason why we build the movement. That one or two of these stories, if it has a positive effect on even another person's life, and they are able to come and say, oh, hey, you know what, this is one more reason to support the work that is happening in the city, to come back to the city and contribute the way that your son has. But again, your son, Manav, is privileged. You have created a life for him where, he will have that kind of privilege all the time. But a lot of people who don't have privilege, they find that, okay, the city might be hard to navigate, then things are not happening, and then they get frustrated over time. So our job at the movement, or when we do the podcast with the festivals, is not to change society like people sometimes expect us to fix the roads, or do things that the government is supposed to do. We are in the business of creating hope. We are here to build optimism in people's minds. And tomorrow, if Mamun's story, if he comes and talks, or if we, after we've worked with them for a couple of years, and say 20 of their students have gone and finished their higher education and now working in TCS or working in Wipro, Google, I don't know, it's possible. So many of our students are going. That is societal transformation on a long-term basis. So patience, the thing that we started with our conversation with, I think I want to close our conversation also with that. I think one of my bigger learnings from our conversation with Pawanji today was perhaps this thing that he said, that it's not only important to be hopeful and optimistic, one must learn to be patient. धीर स्थिर and थोड़ा focus on not wanting results immediately. आज कुछ करेंगे तो कल ही उसका स्वाद नहीं मिलेगा. You have to,
And I must tell you कि आप जो कर रहे हैं, what you are doing for Calcutta, I am a big supporter of Calcutta as a city which is given me everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't treat myself even as a person. I always treat myself as a Bengali because I am born and brought up in Calcutta.
Yeah.
And I get lot of positive energy in this city.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of socialization, in terms of warmth,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of culture, in terms of people, in terms of cost of living, in terms of law and order, in terms of lot of aspects. I believe that this city has given me a lot of things, and I am very, very positive, and I am really happy that you are doing something which is I'm grateful to you, I can say.
No, that is very sweet, and thank you. We need more Pawan Agarwals in this city to show us that it's not just the young people that will lead the brigade. The work that you've been doing is going to have impact over generations. We look forward to working together and look forward. The podcast is just the beginning. Now I feel like I found another family member, and we can count on each other to help make this city relevant again. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had another very, very interesting, insightful conversation. I think we both learnt a lot of things about each other, and in the process, we found newfound motivation to do good work for the city. If you are one of those people who has woken up this morning feeling like, oh, there's not that much happening in Calcutta. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. It's too hot. There's too much traffic. There's not enough things to look forward to. Then maybe I hope this podcast gave you a little bit more hope, a little bit of more optimism. And as Pawan Agarwal says, I hope you're patient enough to see karm ka phal, that at the end of the day, if you put in good work day in and out, wake up in the morning.
Life is not a marathon. Life is a
Yeah, it's
marathon, not a sprint.
It is not a sprint. So you gotta keep it up. And we're here. We're here supporting every such change maker, entrepreneur, artist, and Kolkata lover, most importantly. So see you on the next episode. Till then, this is Meghdut signing off. Cheers. Thank you.
Make Calcutta relevant again.